Welcome back, everybody, to episode 10 of Leif Plays Cities Skylines. And here we are at the freeway overpass interchange that we created in the asset editor last episode. If you haven't seen that, I did a little bit of a tutorial on how to use the asset editor. And this overpass here is what we created. So I'll just zoom out a little bit, give you a better view of that. But that right there is what we created, and we plopped it in here, and it seems to be working quite well. So yeah, go check that out. Hopefully that will be useful to somebody. We just went through how to create this thing. We made a few mistakes and figured out how to fix them, so I think it'll be useful. Anyway, this episode, what I want to do is fix this rat's nest mess here. This traffic situation is really bad. You can see traffic is backed up 2 blocks. Traffic is backed up all the way onto the freeway. This interchange here is just not going to work for us. So we want to fix that. And let's just, before we get to that, that'll be the main thing we do today, but I want to check to make sure that our utilities and services are up to snuff. Looks like water and electricity are still okay. Our landfills are half full so far, so that looks like it's probably okay. Healthcare is looking decent so far. We're definitely going to have to expand over here. Fire is, it's a little iffy. And police is very good. So before we begin, let's just get a fire department down. I think we want something probably right over by this interchange here. And I will probably put it right on the main road, probably in this empty block. Right here, maybe. I don't know if it's important to put it on main roads or side streets. I haven't really noticed what effect that has yet. So yeah, we'll just throw that down there. I think it's probably a good spot for it. And let's check our oh, okay, it is the same icon. I was just not seeing it. Okay, so that reaches almost over to here. We're gonna definitely need more over here. We probably should have more over here, but until we kind of figure out what we're doing with this area, how it's connecting to everything else, I'm gonna leave it alone, I think. Okay, so one last thing to check before we get started. I wanted to take a look at the land value. So blue is middle of the road. The greener it gets, the better. So we've got some, kind of starting to turn green in this area. And that is pretty much it. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and make sure that we maximize that wherever we can. And that would be really good. So let's turn off the data views here. So to fix this interchange, obviously we are going to have to purchase another chunk of land. And fortunately, if we purchase this chunk here, we may also be able to build a hydroelectric dam, which would be really interesting. So we will have an opportunity to play with that as well. So this is going to cost us 7,000, and we have plenty. So let's purchase that. It does have water, has plane connections, rail connections, highway connections, but does not have any shipping, apparently. So it also has no oil, no ore, but it does have fertile land and forestry resources. So let's purchase that. All right. So our city is now a funny L shape, but that's going to help us fix this. Okay. So what we have going on here is basically the same scenario we have going on over here. So I think what I'm going to do is use this asset that we created and just integrate it into what we have going on over there. So let's take a look. Hopefully we have enough room. We might have to buy this plot of land as well. We'll see. Alright, so we're going to keep this paused now because we're going to end up destroying a bunch of freeway. So let's look first, just take a quick peek at how big this thing is, where it's going to fit. So we're going to fit it, right about here. So that should work out just fine. Okay, so let's do some demolition here. I'm going to pull up that, and all the way out to here. We're just going to take all of this out. And we're left with... Huh. Well, that's interesting. You know what? I think this is probably going to be the... this is going to be our... it's going to be the thumbnail for this episode. Or maybe this one here. This is even better. Let's get a good shot of that. Maybe like about like this. About like that. Let's take a screenshot there. Okay. Alright, enough goofiness. Alright, yeah. So we still gotta pause. Let's continue all this demolition. We're gonna take out all of this stuff. And that as well. Okay. So I think in order to line this up properly, what I'm going to do is grab this and bring it up to probably there would be good enough. And then let's see how this fits. I'm not sure why my thumbnail isn't showing up here. I did take a picture of it like I was supposed to, I thought. Now this, I wish you could snap these to the cardinal directions as well. That would be really nice, because right now you can't tell if this thing is straight or not. You know? Oh, okay, there is a little bit of a snap. Okay, so that's nice. So that is slope too steep, so we probably need to... okay, let's attempt this. So I'm going to bring this up as steeply as I can. So right about there. Okay, so that's what, like 3 squares shorter than it was. So now we should be able to just take this, the shortest little bit it'll go. And now I think our interchange will work. Now it still says slope is too steep. What slope does it mean? Okay, we might have to actually build this first. So let's give that a try. Now I still want it lined up here though. And that is difficult. So I guess this is just gonna get eyeballed. And that's, I think, about as close as we're gonna get. Still says slope is too steep. So what slope is it referring to? This slope here? I mean, that looks pretty flat. Huh. I mean, okay, like it would fit out over there. It's not going to fit here. That is very interesting. Well, you know, instead of using this, let's just do it manually. Okay, so what we're going to want is these freeway sections. We're just going to connect them, and we're going to keep these straight, I think. And that looks okay. That is not a goofy angle. It's a big enough distance that you can't really tell where it starts and ends, except that I put it in the wrong direction. I did discover, by the way, there's a mod that will let you switch directions of one-ways, so that's pretty nice, I have to say. Alright, now we're going to take our 4-lane road, and we're going to page up. We're going to bring it there. And actually, I think we want it there, because that is going to give us that nice even spacing. Yep. Perfect. Okay. So we got that going on. And then we're actually going to bring this out a little bit further because that's kind of how we got this to work last time. So let's work on this bit first. We came out straight out as little as we could. Now why? It does not want to snap here, but okay, we're going to do that. And we're going to do the same thing over here. This is difficult to get angles and stuff right. I mean, how close can I get? Oh yeah, that's about as close as I can get. But I actually got to come out a little bit further than that, don't I? Here we go. Okay. So now we're going to bring this the shortest possible distance that it will connect. There we go. And let's just eyeball that, see if we can get that about right. Actually, this one will connect really short, which is interesting, because that... Okay, we can try doing this with guidelines like we did before. Except these sections, they don't line up. Yeah, this is me being probably a little too demanding here. I like things to line up and look pretty though. And the advantage to using that asset editor is that you get yeah, see, that's just way too steep. You get the guidelines and everything. So, I mean, ideally, I would want something... I don't want something super long. I mean, short like that. So, I mean, let's see. Does that look about even? Yeah, that's pretty close. I guess we'll call it that. And then we'll just attempt that. That looks fairly symmetric, and we'll do the same thing here. And looks pretty darn close. Okay, so, and let's just verify the directions are going the proper. So this is an exit, this is an entrance, this here is an exit, I hope. I don't see any lines on there, but, and this is an entrance. So I don't see any of those little markers telling me I've done it in the wrong direction, so let's just let's hit play and see what these guys do. So we still have this intersection, which we should probably clean up. But I have a feeling this freeway interchange, now that we've got rid of that sort of double one-way thing, we've got rid of at least one intersection over here, which should help a ton. Okay. From some of these angles, that looks really funky. Why is that so funky? Is that the ground, maybe? Is that a weird angle? That looks terrible. That looks like some sort of roller coaster track. Huh, well, we may investigate that again at a later date. But this is looking a bit better already. These people, where are these people going? Are they all trying to get on the freeway? So they're all trying to go this direction. Yeah. It's pretty good. I mean, we still have stoplights at both of these intersections. And at this one. So things are backing up still a bit. But those lights change frequently enough that this definitely looks better than it did. Now let's turn on our traffic layer and just see if that's reflected in this. So we didn't look at this earlier, but if I recall correctly, this whole area was red before. So this is definitely looking better, and there's probably a few things we can still do to improve that. And you know, the traffic at those stoplights is still gonna show up as tough traffic. So let's let that run for a while. We'll see how that goes. So in the meantime, I thought we could come back over here and start zoning some of this. So this is our new neighborhood over here. This is going to be around this lake, I think, is going to be kind of our main low-density, nice, expensive residential area. as we go into the future, and some of the rest of the city, I think we're gonna push that to high density ultimately as time goes on. So let's just start painting this. And some of these intersections we may want to tweak later to get rid of some of these weird lots. I was watching Suzuma's videos, and he was saying that he read from the developer that small lots will actually drive land values down. So anything smaller than like a 3x3. So the 1x1 and the 2x2 are apparently a drain on land values. Probably just because it's a smaller building and they don't upgrade to as nice of things ultimately. So, alright, let's get our water down here. And I'm gonna still generally kind of follow the road, I guess. I won't worry about making it too perfect, but you know, we play games because they're fun, right? So we should play them in the way that gives us the most pleasure, because that's the whole point of playing these games to begin with. So, okay, that mostly covers it. Let's just bring this down here, and that won't quite go, so we'll leave that alone for now. Okay, I think that's all covered. Excellent. All right, let's check our power, because okay, that did connect. These blobs here weren't fully connected to each other before, which means we had a brownout area. Okay, and let's see. So this strip right by the freeway here, I think maybe some offices would be nice. And actually, before this gets zoned, I'm going to redo some of this. This road here, and in fact, these corner bits as well, this is all going to be high density, I think. So we'll get some apartment buildings back here and on this side as well. And then we're going to have offices on the freeway side. So we'll see how that works. That should be not too offensive for the people who are living there. And then I will bring this down this direction. Just fill in some of this, and like this little corner bit, we'll probably mess with that later to take advantage of better lot sizes and that sort of thing. But let's do that for now. And what the heck, we'll throw one in there and throw a small apartment building there. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's actually speed this up a bit. And I'm going to zone a few more industrial areas back here just to keep up with demand. And of course, we will be adjusting this zone here later on as we continue. But our budgets are looking great. There's our zones. So let's see what's happening over here. So we got some people moving in. Got, looks like a duplex unit, which has 15 people living in it. I don't really understand the numbers of people who live in these buildings. It doesn't entirely make sense. Like, this makes a lot more sense. We've got, 22 people, whatever, living in an apartment building. But that seems too low for a, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-story apartment building. On the other hand, you have a little duplex and you have 15 people living there. Two big families. I guess it's not implausible, but or 9 people living in this little teeny thing. I mean, 9 people living in that looks like a one room studio kind of thing. So again, not that it couldn't happen, but not typical, at least where I live. So kind of interesting that it's done that way. Let's throw a little bit more industrial in that blob there. Okay, so why don't we check out this guy while we've got a little bit of time and we're waiting for this to develop a bit. So this is going to cost us 2,000 per cell and cost us 3,000 per week upkeep. So this is pretty intense. So how do we actually do this if we were going to build it? I don't want to spend all that money and build it without sort of knowing how it goes, but okay, so we would draw it out like this. Construction 56,000. But it is quite doable, and that's probably a road on the top, I would suppose. And estimated production 0 megawatts. Now, why is that? What if we drug it across here? 48 megawatts. What if we drew it? I mean, I guess we can't do this because it doesn't belong to us. That also 48 megawatts. Here, 0 megawatts. Here, 16 megawatts. 16. Okay, interesting. So this is really the spot. 32. Didn't we see a 48? 48. Okay, so this is going to be our spot. Right around here, wherever that was. Right there. For this thing. 72,000 it's going to cost us. It's going to cut our weekly earnings in half. So we're not going to do that just yet. We still have a little bit of leeway, so we'll probably wait until that electrical supply drops a bit more, and that I think will be our next electrical solution. I mean, we'll get 48 megawatts out of that, which, you know, sadly is not much, and it's expensive upkeep. You know, compared to the oil plant here, 120 megawatts, and it's going to cost us 2,000 a week to maintain. So, but you know what? We don't like smog and pollution and stuff, so we're gonna definitely go with the hydro, and we'll evolve that direction in the future. So anyway, I think we've run out of time for this episode, but I hope you enjoyed that, watching us rearrange a little bit of the traffic flow here, getting some more of these zones figured out. And actually, let's just pop down here. See, we got offices on that side, and we got apartments on this side. So that'll be kind of interesting. Pernod Apparel. That is a cool looking apartment building. I like that. Cool. Well, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this was enjoyable and fun to watch. And if it was, please leave a like. That's greatly appreciated. And subscribe to my channel if you want to see the other things that I do, as well as Twitter, which you can find the link to in the description. So, yeah, everybody have a great day. I'll see you next time.